Come on in and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. Our thanks to producer and director Ben Stiller for starting us off. Be sure to check out Season 2 of Severance, which just started streaming on Apple TV+. Well, from Ben Stiller, well, there's something about these guys. Jerry, Howie, Michael, Gronk, and Jimmy. Happy Saturday, boys.
Good to have you here, fellas.
I've got to pass on an honor. This week, Michael Strahan, you were voted into the National College Football Hall of Fame.
All right. Hey, congratulations, Michael.
Nice little surprise. I'm surprised you didn't tell me, too, because you can't keep the secret. Thank you. I appreciate it. Texas Southern University, baby. Love you. Thank you.
TSU.
Michael, part of the next class of the National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame. Also, our Fox colleagues, Michael Vick and Urban Meyer, both elected this week as well. So congratulations to them and the entire class there.
Yes.
All right. You know what? It's a quarterback-driven league when it comes playoff time. And the playoff field right now loaded with franchise quarterbacks.
Every remaining quarterback has a story to tell. One story is just being written.
Jaden Daniels' signature game.
And others continue to dazzle audiences.
Oh, my goodness.
Though each still search for that picture-perfect culmination.
We already knew Josh Allen is great. Lamar Jackson does it again. His competitiveness, his will to win. Desperate for success.
But only two have reached the pinnacle.
A Lombardi trophy for Los Angeles.
One more than the other.
Chiefs Kingdom, back-to-back Super Bowl champion.
With the stage set and season hanging in the balance, whose story will be told?
All right, we've got our game coming up in just a bit. Let's talk about the other divisional matchups here. Gronk starting with the big matchup of quarterbacks between the Ravens and Bills.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And I grew up in Buffalo. And if Buffalo fans don't hate me already because of my days in New England, which I hope they don't, this may tip them right here because I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens because of this guy right here, running back Derrick Henry. Yes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen are going to do great things, but they cancel each other out. And Derrick Henry has proven that he continuously gets better as the season goes on. And on top of that, the Baltimore Ravens have one of the best defenses in the league. Over the last 6 weeks, they are peaking at the right time. And what wins games in cold weather? That's running the football and playing great defense.
Gronk, why are you shouting?
I'm excited, man. It's playoff football.
I'm over here going.
And I hope he doesn't go to Buffalo anytime soon.
Howie, speaking of cold weather, it's going to be cold in Philadelphia as the Rams come visiting.
Yeah, emotional win for a team in a city that's been through a lot over the last couple of weeks, and now they travel to Philadelphia. Forecast weather is below freezing, snow on the ground. It's going to be a tough environment. The last time these two teams played, Philadelphia ran for over 300 yards. Saquon, 255 by himself. As much as I like this young, physical defensive line, and I do a lot, they need some help. I think they have to pick their poison. They've got to go with 8 in the box. They've got to stress stopping the run and put the pressure on Jalen Hurts to show them that he can beat them.
We should mention that we already know where the AFC Championship game is going to be. Kansas City won. If Detroit wins, the NFC Championship game can be there. If not, the door is open for Philadelphia tomorrow. Jimmy, let's talk about a team that's not in the playoffs. The Dallas Cowboys, they parted ways with Mike McCarthy today. What do you think they're looking for?
Yeah, Kurt, this decision is tied directly to the quarterback, Dak Prescott. He signed a $240 million contract, got a no-trade clause. He's had tremendous success in this system, so it doesn't make sense to bring in a new offensive system. The two key figures here, Brian Schottenheimer, the offensive coordinator for Dallas, and like I said, Dak's done a great job in that system. The other key figure is Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator for Philadelphia. He is very close to Dak. He was a coordinator prior to Schottenheimer. Now, Jerry, he could surprise us with a decision, but I think those two key guys are the ones you start with.
So it sounds like Jerry is looking to go with someone he knows who's an offensive guy there. We'll keep an eye on that. The Lions right now hoping that they can not lose both their coordinators who've interviewed for head coaching jobs. That put more pressure on them right now to win now.
Absolutely. You don't think the players don't know about this? Listen, Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator, both are up for head coaching jobs. Look like they're going to take it. Let me tell you something, folks. No team has ever won a Super Bowl after losing both of their coordinators the year before. So everything is all about right now. So I expect a great game today from the Lions.
hosting the championship game next week. And a lot of it because they know they're going to lose these two guys.
Yeah, you know, and I wonder, though, when you know you're up for a head coaching job, you're up for it because you've done a great job as a coach. Detroit's fortunate to have an offense coordinator and a defensive coordinator who've just been outstanding this year, especially Aaron Glenn dealing with all the injuries that he's had to deal with. But you just hope that it's not a distraction to the coaches or to the players. Right. But I do think that, as you said, TB, these players and these coaches know how much is at stake. And I think they want it all. And if they are going to leave and go somewhere else to coach next year, they want to do it with a ring on their finger.
Yeah. All right, we'll break down that game much more from our studios here in Los Angeles. And that is Jeff Daniels. You can download his new song, The Curse of Bobby Lane, featuring Peyton Manning. Now, he seems definitely confident about tonight, but after a lifetime of playoff disappointment, we put some actual diehard Lions fans on the couch to talk about how they're feeling now.
All right, welcome back. Right this way. Hi, how are you? Come on in, have a seat. Thanks for coming in. How are you feeling today?
Well, Doc, you know, part of me doesn't know how to feel. Is this really happening? Are my Detroit Lions this good?
There's times I wake up and I gotta pinch myself.
I'm just like a cage of emotions, ready to erupt. Ecstatic, overwhelmed.
I gotta tell you, a nervous excitement. We've never had a team like this in Detroit. We're not sure how to handle winning so much.
We've been through so much. There have been so many bad years.
I'll be honest, I didn't think that I would ever see it. You know, to go from the worst team to now the best team.
I mean, this team was the laughingstock, and now we're the favorites to win the Super Bowl.
It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to comprehend. Man.
So close your eyes. Picture the Lions winning the Super Bowl. What do you see?
Oh, the Detroit Lions have won it. Celebrate, boys.
I'm just seeing the celebration, the confetti.
I see everyone on the field soaking it all in.
It's hard not to get emotional.
Happy tears.
That's the most beautiful sight in the world.
A Super Bowl win. My life would be complete.
When it happens, I'm gonna cry like a baby.
You know, these fans say they've overcome a lot to get used to this, but this team has overcome a lot to even get into this position, all the injuries that they've had. And the guy they're getting back this week is really one of their key players, David Montgomery, running back, number 5. I mean, this guy just... They call, you know, we had Thunder and Lightning in New York, Tiki Barber and Ron Dane. These two, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, are Sonic and Knuckles. So now you got the speed, and you bring the Knuckles back. You bring Montgomery back for the Knuckles, for the bruising. And it's going to be interesting to see how he contributes to the run game, if he's going to have a snap count. But it's good to have two guys who are so off balance and so different that it gives the challenges to the other team.
It fits. They're explosive and they're also physical. And Montgomery, I think, gives them that fourth down guy. He gives them that closer guy at the end. Gibbs has shown that without Montgomery in the lineup, he's a home run waiting to happen on any given play, whether it's a reception or a run. And I think everything starts with the run game with them, and it sets up the play-action pass, where Goff has been great. Back to his days with the Rams, how great he was with the play-action pass. He's great in Detroit with that. The run sets everything up.
Gronk?
Yeah, and Michael, you talked about Montgomery. Hey, Howie, you talked about Jared Goff and Gibbs. Well, there's a theme here. Why are those guys shining? And that's because of the Detroit Lions offensive line. These guys are insanely athletic, and they have the same personality as their head coach, Dan Campbell, and that's what I truly love about them. They're going to punch you first before you can punch them.
And Jared Goff, let's go back to the 5 interceptions against Houston. He was down 23-7 at half, came back in the second half and won that football game. He will always be the guy to bring you back. They're the #1 play-action team in the NFL. Run, fake. You run a play, then you play action. Run a play off of it and throw the football. They are outstanding at moving routes. They never have a stationary route. All the receivers are either crossing or taking off. Fun game. It's going to be fun to watch. Brock, you mentioned Dan Campbell. You know, a lot of times the team takes the personality of the head coach. And I think this has never been any truer than with the Detroit Lions. They're aggressive, they're physical, they play with extreme confidence. And you talk about Dan Campbell changing the culture. I'll tell you what he has changed. He has changed the way the entire country looks at the Detroit Lions.
Well, you know, they're a tough team. Montgomery coming back from a tough situation, knee injury, week 15 against Buffalo. But he said he credited his off-season workout, 700-pound deadlifts. What day of the week is that for you, Kurt?
Just a Tuesday.
I thought.
A normal Tuesday?
Yeah, just a regular.
Yeah, absolutely, Kurt. Kurt, I'm here with 5,400 firefighters in this area here. There's over a mile long. And look, here's how this whole thing happened. My wife, Rosie, and I, we live about 100 yards from here. So all week long, along with other people from California, we came down here just to try and boost morale, bring water and different things, different food. And 2 nights ago, a bunch of firemen said, you know what we really need? We really want to just watch football. I said, I know somebody who can make that happen. So I actually called our CEO, Eric Shanks. He got on the phone immediately. We came down here yesterday, and now they have 10 TVs to watch the games here in an area when they come back from their shifts. And a lot of these guys, they have 24-hour shifts. They could just unwind, watch our playoff games, not just Fox's, but all these games, just to give them some normalcy. Now, let me get a little football news in here also. I talked to both head coaches today, Dan Campbell and Dan Quinn. And Michael, you were talking about David Montgomery. Montgomery is going to play, but Jahmyr Gibbs, he's going to be the featured back. And look, Bobby Wagner for Washington, he actually has a high ankle sprain. Dan Quinn said, though, I'm going to go with my eyes here. I think he's going to be good. Only had a couple reps in practice this week. But how about this? I'm not the only guy that these coaches talked to today. When they found out that I'm here with our firemen today, both head coaches actually FaceTimed them all today just to try to pump them up and lift them up a little bit more. So they were just enamored with our heroes here. It's amazing what's going on here. There are firefighters from all over America, 3 different countries, all jumping in here, all trying to fight this fight with us. This is just Fox Sports' way of saying thank you all for you guys leaving your homes to fight for ours. We love you guys. Thank you.
Amen to that, brother. Thank you so much to all that are fighting the fires and all that have given everything you can do. People in Los Angeles certainly appreciate it. It's amazing to see how the world can come together in a time of need. All right, let's get back to the football game and talk about the big Commanders team that has won 6 in a row thanks to the poise of their quarterback. And you know what? We don't often see this kind of poise from a rookie. But Aaron Andrews, I tell you what, not all rookies are Jaden Daniels, are they?
Wow. Absolutely not. You know, every week this rookie is either breaking another record or making an impossible play look so easy. Kurt, there is such a calmness to this guy. I was actually just standing in the tunnel when he was walking out during pregame warmups, and he just smiled, raised his eyebrows like, nah, this is nothing. And nothing rattles him. And when the Commanders need a big play, they know they can ride with 5.
See this guy up above.
What's up?
How are you doing?
Congrats.
Thank you.
This is incredible.
We've been waiting to get y'all the whole year. I've been asking, man, when we gonna get the crew? Let's go.
This guy's unbelievable. He's cool under pressure. Rookie of the year. It's more than that.
There's been so much talk about how you don't get rattled, staying calm, even-keeled. So we decided to try to rattle you a little bit and make you do an interview outside when it's 20 degrees.
Too cold.
But as you look around, have you even allowed yourself time to reflect, like how, what a season this has been?
Not at all, not yet. We still got some more business to handle,
yeah.
Especially coming up this week with the task at hand with obviously the Detroit Lions and what they present.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever the season is over, I'll just be able to sit back, be somewhere warmer,
yes,
and reflect on the year that I've been through.
The Washington Commanders just won a playoff game for the first time since...
What, 2005?
How old were you then?
I probably had just turned 5.
Seems to be a theme. I mean, and you can hear it. I've got 5 on it. I'm riding with 5. They have been waiting for this. Can you feel that?
100%. Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, somebody said, like, we awoken the sleeping giant. They've been waiting to be proud and happy of something, a product out there on the field that they know is going to go out there and fight each and every week. You know, give them something to root for.
The last 5 games, Jaden, they've all come down.
All come down last play.
What the heck?
I don't want to be in those situations. Obviously, we would love to win by more than just the last play.
Right.
You know, maybe double digits, but if it comes down to the last play, I know this team's going to fight to the end.
How incredible has this ride been? The trade season continues. Motor City, here we come.
I don't know if you saw this. Dan Campbell has some great lines. This week he said it's going to be all out, especially when you're going up against a mobile quarterback. Your legs are going to be burning. Get ready to throw up. You got to do that every time to keep him corralled. Have you ever had a defender throw up because he's trying to chase you down?
I have not. I hope that's not the case.
Would that rattle you?
Nah, not at all. I hope that's not the case. I hope somebody don't have to throw up.
This has been the place where miracles have happened this year. This kid has been on fire.
This is the first time you'll be back in Detroit since last year's draft.
Commanders select Jaden Daniels.
Thinking about where you are right now, the kid that was picked in the draft last year, what would you tell yourself?
What would I tell myself? Man, hopefully one day you could be back. Man, I was drafted there, walked across the stage, shook the commissioner's hand, and now I'm going back to play a playoff game, man. It's been nothing but a joy.
Well, how about this one for you? Jaden Daniels has more games with 0 punts, 0 turnovers in his career, of course, which is just 1 year, than Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes combined. Again, he's only played 1 season. And as I told him, Coach, they've been waiting for you in Washington. I'll tell you what they've been waiting for here in Detroit is this game. Wow. You guys got to get out of the studio. Come here and be with us in Detroit. This is amazing, you guys.
Next week, wherever the NFC Championship game is, we will be there. And right now, yes, it is dark behind you. Thank you so much, EA. But you can feel the electricity coming from the 65,000 people trying to get that Lions team back into the NFC Championship game for the 2nd straight year. But let's talk about Washington. And, you know, she talked with Jaden Daniels right there, Jimmy, and you can just see the poise in the young kid.
Well, it may be getting dark there, but I promise you, Daniels will bring the light. Man,
oh, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that's good.
Hey, you know, in numbers, you know, I don't think that tells a story about Jaden Daniels. You know, 13 wins. And, you know, Aaron talked about how calm he was, calm under pressure. You know, 6 times this year they were behind in the 4th quarter. He brought them from behind. He has poise. You look at him, he can beat you running, nearly 1,000 yards rushing. He can beat you throwing the football, 27 touchdowns. And it's not dink and dunk either. He can throw it down the field. You know, every franchise, they're looking for that franchise quarterback. I think even as a rookie, he's already one of the best quarterbacks in the entire league.
You know, it sounds like it's hyperbole to a certain extent. You're talking about Joe Montana. You're talking about all these different quarterbacks. The important thing is the people in the building, and they believe that if given the opportunity at the end of games, we talked about the 5 games in a row, including last week's playoff game where they win in the final seconds of the game. Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, those are the guys that in that building, they believe if given the opportunity, this guy will come through. If they can put him in position today, that's key.
Yeah, you said hyperbole. By the way, that's a good word. I had to look it up. That's good. I like that. Only you would use that word.
You want to see what he wrote down?
It's not. Look, I did
hyperbole.
I put a P on it.
That's a whole different thing, brother.
Spelled phonetically proper.
Everybody, don't bother me, Howie. Everybody is looking for that number 1, Jimmy, and you hit it right on the back. Every coach in the playoff has a franchise quarterback. Everybody in the NFL is looking for number 1. Washington hit on everything. Josh Harris is the first-year owner. He's in there doing a great job. Brought in Adam Peters as their GM. Fantastic job in the first year. Then Quinn comes in, changes the culture in Washington, and then, of course, Jaden Daniels comes in as their quarterback. Folks, they only won 4 games last year, and Jimmy's already alluded to how many they won this year.
Yeah.
This is the team right now, as scary as they're a scary team. I'm a little uncomfortable about my picks I got to do today with them and Detroit. I'm not sure.
Terry, this is all good stuff, man.
Now.
But I believe this is the game of the week. Both coaches, they take tremendous risk, and it's going to be a shootout. And if the Washington Commanders want to win this game, the key for them is to deliver in the red zone. They got to score touchdowns and not settle for field goals. And that is going to depend on 3 veterans for the Washington Commanders, and that's running back who's savvy, Austin Eckler, that's all-star, wide receiver McLaurin, and that's tight end Zach Ertz, who already has a Super Bowl.
And, you know, speaking of McLaurin, a franchise record 13 TD catches this season, 14 if you go back to last week, what he did in the play at a game there in Tampa. But, you know, you hit it best, TB. Usually teams are looking for a quarterback, the number one, and they build around him. This team had a lot of offensive weapons, and they just happened to stumble upon the quarterback who fit this system. But Dan Quinn's done a great job on the other side of the ball, too. They were 32nd in the league on defense in both scoring and total defense. He brings in Frankie Louvu. He brings in the never-aging Bobby Wagner, who's an incredible veteran presence and leader. On top of that, from Dallas, he brought in Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong. So he added just the right player they needed in the right position to put this team where they are right now in the playoffs. And I'm like you. Yeah. This is not going to be a game where I feel like Detroit's just going to run away with it. I think Washington feels like this is they're that surprise.
They believe they can win.
Number 1 seed Lions taking on the surprising Commanders, and away we go. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Good to see you. Tom Brady's here, and I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Tom, these Commanders, an amazing year. They won only 4 games last year. Dan Quinn comes in. They draft Jaden Daniels. They're a 12-win team. They upset the Bucs last week. Now will that magic carpet ride continue?
Wow, they've been unbelievable. It's going to be an uphill battle, KB. This is a tough environment. It's rocking behind us. But they are the cardiac Commanders for a reason. They've won a lot of games in the fourth quarter. To me, it comes from Dan Quinn and the belief he has in this team, the belief they have in each other. And it's led by their young stud quarterback, Jaden Daniels. He gives them hope. They believe that they can make it a 60-minute game, get him to the fourth quarter. His playmaking ability can take over, and they can find a way to win.
They're going to need it because the Lions have been the best team in the league. 15 wins. They've been building to this under Dan Campbell, a place they've never been before. The number 1 seed in the NFC. Now, though, as the top dog, how can they live up to the pressure?
Yeah, it's tough, but they've earned the right to be here. The number 1 seed, 15 wins is tough to do. How do they do it? They're a tough, resilient team, just like the city they play for. They're physical in all phases of the game, and Jared Goff, he's been special the last 3 years. More touchdowns, more yards than any other quarterback in the league. I can't see what he's got in store tonight.
And I can't hear.
Mình sẽ móc những mũi đơn xuống. Tiếp tục móc nhé. Mọi người sẽ móc cho mình là 3 mũi lẻ, sau đó sẽ móc 1 mũi đôi nhé. Tiếp tục móc. Mọi người cứ lần lượt từng mũi cho mình. Đấy, mọi người sẽ móc là cứ 3 mũi lẻ thì sẽ móc 1 mũi đôi nhá. Mình móc vào như thế này. Bây giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo nha mọi người. Mình cũng sẽ móc y như vậy. Tiếp tục móc nhá. Cứ lần lượt từng mũi một. Đấy, mọi người móc lần lượt từng mũi như này. Bây giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo nha. Cứ lặp đi lặp lại những mũi giống nhau là được. Giờ mình sẽ tiếp tục mình móc. Tiếp tục những mũi tiếp nữa này. Cứ lần lượt cho đến hết nhé. Đấy, mình đã móc được một nửa rồi này. Bây giờ móc nốt nửa còn lại cũng như vậy nha mọi người. Tiếp tục móc này, cứ lần lượt từng mũi một. Tiếp tục móc những mũi tiếp theo nha. Tiếp tục móc những mũi nữa này, cứ lần lượt cho đến hết. Tiếp tục móc nha mọi người. Đấy, cứ lần lượt như này cho đến hết nhé. Giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo này. Giờ sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo này, cứ lần lượt cho đến hết nhé. Cứ lần lượt từng mũi cho đến hết. Đấy, giờ mình sẽ móc tiếp những mũi tiếp theo nha mọi người. Mọi người cứ móc lần lượt từng mũi cho mình. Tiếp nhé. Rồi bây giờ sẽ nối vào này. Mình nối vào mình siết dây nhé. Đấy, mình sẽ được cái phần màu trắng nó bao quanh phần màu xanh rất là xinh rồi. Giờ mình sẽ móc cái phần màu sắc tiếp theo. Mình sẽ chuyển sang cái phần xanh này nhé. Bây giờ mình sẽ móc vào. Mình gỡ một chút len đấy nhé. Rồi bây giờ sẽ siết phần dây màu trắng lại. Đây mọi người móc một mũi bính này. Sau đó móc thêm một mũi bính nữa nhé. Mình sẽ móc vào đây những cái mũi kép nhé. Mọi người sẽ móc lần lượt từng mũi cho mình. Mũi này hơi lỗi rồi, móc lại một chút này. Đây mình móc vào nhé. Mình sẽ móc theo tỷ lệ 2-1 nhé. Cứ 2 mũi lẻ thì mình lại móc một mũi đôi nha mọi người. Tiếp tục móc vào này. Lặp đi lặp lại những mũi giống nhau. Đấy, giờ mình sẽ móc tiếp nhé. Lại 2 mũi lẻ. Cứ lần lượt như này. Đấy. 2 mũi lẻ mình lại móc một mũi đôi vào. Có lẽ mình sẽ đổi kiểu móc khác đi. Nhìn này nó không được đẹp đâu. Đây mình sẽ móc như này đi. 3, 4 này. Móc 4 mũi bính nhé. Rồi móc xuống như thế này. Tiếp tục móc 4 mũi bính tiếp theo này. Rồi lại móc xuống đây. Mọi người cứ móc 4 mũi bính một cho mình. 4 mũi bính móc xuống chân thứ 3 nhé. 1, 2, 3 đây. Chân thứ 3 nhé mọi người. Cứ làm 4 mũi bính xong đó lại móc xuống chân thứ 3. Mình cứ móc lần lượt như vậy cho đến hết nhé. Tiếp tục những mũi tiếp theo cũng y như vậy. Mình sẽ móc tiếp. Tiếp tục nhé.